So now I'd like to introduce Donald Saaf.
Okay. Should I stand up? Should I?
Yes.
Thank you. So, my testimony is sort of the we are the evidence kind of testimony. I was going to tell you a little personal story. First of all, we're not an anti-tech group at all. We're just a tech safety group. We want tech that's safe. And a few years ago, I was very, very pro Wi-Fi. And I went to a town in Nova Scotia where the whole town was Wi-Fi. And I thought, what a great thing. It's like equalizing, information for everyone. And I just thought that should be the standard across the country. And in our house, I have 2 teenage boys. And when we had Wi-Fi put into our house, it was great. Everybody could use their computers, they could watch movies, do their homework, and it was great. But about a year and a half ago, I started noticing some strange symptoms, and I found that it was very hard to sleep through the night. I was having like a brain fog in the evening, just short-term memory loss, and then worst of all, I would wake up in the middle of the night and have vertigo, and the room would just be spinning. And I didn't really know what the reason was, but I did a little research, and I found out about smart meters and the effect that had on some people. And luckily, through the work that Annette Smith did with her group, Vermont has the ability to opt out of the smart meter. So that was my first step. I got rid of the smart meter.
Thank you, Annette.
Yes. And I should say that GMP, they were totally happy to do that service. They were really great. And but then I had a Wi-Fi router in my room. I had my devices all around, and I got rid of all that stuff, and it kind of changed my life. I was able to sleep through the night. I could think more clearly, and that was all with 4G. So with 4G, we have the option to at least make a safe space in our house, and and live without so much electro smog if you're out in the country like we are. But with 5G, I just want to talk a little bit about the difference of what 5G is, so we're all on the same page. 5G is a shorter wave. I'm not a scientist, but this is just from what I understand. 5G is a shorter wave that won't travel as far. So it won't go through trees, won't go through leaves, won't go through walls. So that means we need more cells. And so 5G requires 3 things. It needs the massive MIMO towers, which in the past we might have had a tower that had 20 cells on it. Now one of these towers are monstrous. They can have up to 200 cells on them. So you have 2 things there. You have the aesthetic. In the state where we don't allow billboards, we allow these monstrous things look like they're out of a science fiction movie. And what does that do for tourism, right? That's what feeds our state. So 5G requires those massive MIMO towers. The other thing it requires is small cell technology. And they say small cell, but it really is, what it means is, it's like taking a giant cell tower, splitting it up, and putting it in our community. So you might have a cell outside your window, you might have a cell over your bus stop where you're waiting for an hour in the morning, you might have it in a park where people hang out all day. Unlike a cell tower, you can't look at it and say, oh, I better stay away from that giant cell tower, because it's in your community. It could be outside your window. And the third thing that 5G, the way it's different, is that it's a different sort of wave. It's a beam-forming wave. And that means, like with 4G, it's more like you drop a pebble in the water and the waves go out kind of indiscriminately. But with 5G, it's a type of wave that goes directly to your phone. It will like find the shortest route. And that means that we're going to have a lot of like these beams of whatever they are to everybody's phone. So if you're if you're at all electronically sensitive like I am, you're walking through the downtown, everybody's on their phone. You're like walking through these high-powered beams all day long. And even and the other thing is, you're talking about getting ready for 5G. So that means putting these small cells into our community before we have 5G. So that means we have 4G, which is meant to transfer for miles on these poles in your neighborhood. Powerful waves. Perhaps it's even more dangerous than having 5G in your community if you have all these cells with 4G going through it. So, in short, there's a better way. There's fiber optic cable. It's the way to go. It's safer. It's faster. And it's bright.
More reliable.
It's more reliable. And I think that's all I want to say. But thanks very much.
Thank you.